back in the TBM. Since I last flew this on stream, I've repaired it. It needed a lot of repairs. It had melted or partially melted turbine. Yes, the turbine. Of course, it's a HotStart TBM. And of course, I had a hot start. And I had a busted up pressure vessel, which happened due to a bug, but then again, I had to fix it, which required a new airframe, which is what you see here. Previously, I had one of the stock liveries, beautiful purple on white livery, but decided to go with something different. This is a little bit more my style. Black and red. That's how I like it. With a few details, like, for example, my signature, whatever you call this color. It's a mix of sort of a green and a cyan color. I have no idea what you can call that color, but it's I like it. It looks good. And B variation, well, that's just something silly I came up with. Anyways, so what is the plan today? Well, let me tell you. The plan today is to, let's drag this to the side, fly from Marana Regional in southern Arizona, fly northwest up to the west of Phoenix to Buckeye Municipal. So this is part of PilotEdge ABC challenges, which is very, very cool, very cool concept. Flying from airport A to airport B to airport C to airport D to E, F, G, and so forth. And then once you're through the alphabet, there's also the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and ending up at 9. So I'll start the Arizona ABC challenge today, flying from A to B. So Marana, which is Kilo Alpha Victor Quebec, so Alpha is the A. Doesn't have to be in the name. Marana doesn't have it, but the identifier has AVQ. So A over 2 Buckeye, which starts with a B, and also happens to start with the name starts with a B. Not a particularly long flight. This is what is it? 100 miles or so? 96 miles, as the crow flies. But I'm not a crow, so I'm not going to fly direct. I'm going to stop by, or at least touch and go at almost halfway, or just above halfway, at Bishop Airfield, which back in the day, and by day I mean not long ago actually, was called Mobile Airport. Well, interesting airfield. I'll get back to it when I get there. I see, if you can see this, all these gray things around here are parachute jumps, no-temmed. So it's a bit of a mess. And it's active. 7th of January 23 to 6th of January 24. So it's a bit of a mess in the sense that this NOTAM is going to stay there forever, basically. So we have overlapping parachute NOTAMs in this area. Very annoying, because when they're all over the place like that, they're basically worthless. it's like having a giant area over the whole world, no timing birds. Birds exist on planet Earth, and they will be around and in the vicinity of the airport. Anyways, what is this? This is MOA, which seems to be inactive, but might be very close to be active. 31st from 01 Zulu, so that's gonna be in 2 hours, but it's not gonna be a factor. I'm not gonna go that far south. I think it's basically a straight shot, but I'm gonna be if the weather cooperates. I see some clouds to the what am I looking now? This looks to be, well, the sun is about to set in the west, so this is north. So I have some clouds in the distance. And also, I think these mountains in the distance there are the ones outside of Phoenix. Sounds like we have an airplane coming in. Yes, we do. Over there. I love airplanes. Speaking of airplanes, this is a beautiful airplane, if I ever saw one. Very interesting plane, the TBM. Anyways, I'm gonna try to negotiate these. Actually, I should just forget about these NOTAMs. They're worthless. So that's the overarching plan, and if I feel like it, I might go to the next airport, which is, I think it's Chandler, so, which is not that far away. So I mean, that's just a few minutes away, so I could take the next leg if I so desire. I'll see what happens, see how late it becomes. I have probably a reputation for faffing around and spending a lot of time, which I'm doing right now, which I will right now stop doing. I will set this to small and drag out the TBM checklist. That was the amplified procedures. I don't want those right now. There we have them. So, let's see here. Before I start with the checklist error, I'll just take off all these covers so that I at least stand a chance to not burn up the engine. Before I close up shop here, I will want to check that I have the payload is correct. I'm actually also probably going to need fuel, because fuel is cheaper here than some of the other places on the route. So that's going to be what I'm doing right now. So let's check payload first. That checks out, so that's fine as far as that goes. Fuel, however, now you see the cap open, by the way. I'm thinking I might very well just take full fuel, just to get it done with. Because it's sufficiently cheap over here. So close up that one. And at least walk over so I can see the fuel cap, so that I don't walk away with that open. Because one of the hilarious things about the TBM is that you can actually, if I now close this menu, like so, you see the fuel cap on the left side area is closed, but the one on the right side is open, because I didn't close that menu. Fuel cap off, fuel cap on. Neat. So let's just check that I actually have the parking brake set. It is set. And also I can close up this. Good. The modeling of this plane is exquisite. that one goes away. Let's see here. I don't need this door open anymore. And close that and remove this one. Let's see. So I'm wondering, is this, if I push the elevator up, will these trim tabs also move? No, that's just the trim. Okay. I was wondering if it was. So what are they called when they move down with the elevator? That would be. It adds to the pressure. There's a name for that. That they kind of add to the torque that you have to put to it to. So it would be anti-torque trim, I think. No, that would be, yeah. Anyway, they're not moving. They are moving only by the trim wheel or trim switch. Okay, so this side is clear of flags. I love this paint job, it's so cool. Especially with the red pieces down here. It really stands out. So I see no more red flags. So, and that door is closed and secured. And let me get inside here and close up shop here. Hello, Downzim. Have a look at the beaver. I'm very well. Thank you. Thanks for asking. How about you? I'm gonna sneak into my plane here. Very good. I see you're planning next Monday's shenanigans in Alaska with the beaver gang. Or not the beaver gang, I mean the Bush League. Valdez, okay. I'm going to create a new beaver airframe, a bare bones airframe, without GPS and all that. Just maybe a VOR indicator or something like that. A little bit more shabby plane to be used just in the Alaska, Canada, North Canada, Northwest Canada bush region, so that I can keep my 524 Echo Alpha down south. Modding up the Soulmate sim. Okay, I've not tried it, but I've looked at it. I've seen no reason to use it, but what are you modding with it? Let's see here. Close up shop. A neat little thing here. I noticed last night this flag is red and this flag is red because the door is not closed. So if you look at the red flag here, when I close the door, it turns green because it's secure. So that means that the pressurization in the plane can work properly. Yeah, the SMS Beaver was, I've seen a lot of people used it before Thronda came out with theirs. And actually it's freeware now, I think. And by the way, the CSL, there's a CSL on no, that doesn't work with VATSIM. One of the PilotEdge pilots created a CSL based on these SMS Beaver with permission from the creator of the SMS Beaver. It's a very, very good looking CSL with functioning doors and control surfaces and all kinds of neat things. But I actually tested it before we had the Canyonlands fly-in, and it didn't quite work with some odd things. It will show up, but it kind of was sitting inside the ground and things like that. So I guess we'll just have to live with the very old CSL that's coming with the POSCON package. But it does the job. It does the job. Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up. A link to the... let's see here. Let's see here. There you go. It should be possible to modify. Let's see here. Yes, it should be modifiable. So it's. I think it's just a matter of putting down a little bit of time just to correct the placement of the CSL, and perhaps some faffing around with making the prop spin, because I think the prop didn't spin. So it's a matter of testing it around. So if you want someone to test it with, to troubleshoot, just give me a shout and I'll join. So the plan, if you didn't catch it, is to fly from Marana Regional in Arizona to Buckeye Municipal. It's a very, very short flight. It will be done in 20 minutes or so. If I don't do any shenanigans on the way, which I will probably, if I get the plane to start even. So now the plan is to see if I can fire this thing up. So first thing first, to check that everything is nilled out. So everything's off, gear is down, air conditioner, bleed off. All of these are pushed in. This is back, this is off, flaps up, tank selected to the right tank. I'll see you for that later. Check the emergency gear handle is down. Breakers. Have a look. None are popped. Very good. And everything up here should be off. Off they are, indeed. So before I do anything, I'll just check the oxygen. Turn on the oxygen. Pull on the mask. Ah, that feels good. Okay, good. It works. That sound of the oxygen it just feels like it feels good. It's almost like a swig of coffee. Which also feels good. Let's see here. Just going to verify that I'm actually logged into PilotEdge here, so I'm not... Yes, I'm... So that's good. So, I'll run through the checklist before I start the engine. I will set up this much quicker if I do the checklist afterwards, which sounds kind of backwards, but there's a method to the madness. Flow, and then a checklist before I do something drastic. All right. I can do the ignition to auto, so that's dealt with, so I don't forget that. My big mess up when I had my hot start with this plane was because the ignition was off. And then I flooded the engine with fuel and then turned on the ignition. That was not good. Anyways, breaker bar. Should be seeing things light up here. All right. Ligning. I'm guessing we shall hear a bunch of warnings and cautions. There we have them. Very annoying sound, isn't it? Let me know if I shall stop that.
Aural warning, okay.
Okay.
Pause system test, okay.
Yeah, that would be cool doorbell to have. Master warning. Okay, looks like this is up and running. It says we have mountains in front of us, and I can see the mountains. That's good. All right. Put on navs and strobes so I can warn people that I'm about to do something stupid. Put the battery on, and all this can stay off for now. Let's hope I can avoid making a hot start again. Let's see. Okay. Safe taxi and obstacle. All of these are February 23, so that's fine. Okay, so that's all good and well. Fuel is full. Good battery voltage on both sides. Let me pull up fuel there. That checks out, and battery there is fine. All right. I'll set up the rest of this later. I will put this on display backup so that all of the screens are showing the same thing. That's a trick I learned from, I think it was reflected reality simulations. A guy who's also streaming and putting videos up on YouTube. He's an Airbus captain in real life, I think. And he has an extensive tutorial series on the TBM, as well as the HotStart Challenger, by the way. Fantastic stuff. And he said that one of the things to do with the TBM when he started is to have all the screens show the same thing, because if you have the engine instruments only on the center instrument, on the MFD, and not on the PFD, then if you are starting the engine and one of the PFD fails, then you don't have the engine instruments. You've seen his videos as well. That's fantastic. He's also just fun to listen to, and I love his dialect. It's absolutely gorgeous. So he says that if you are starting the engine and the MFD fails, you don't have the engine instruments, so you don't know what's going on with temperatures and pressures and speeds and all of that. So it's a bit of a critical time to have all the screens synchronized. So that's a clever little trick. And I also learned from him to set a timer on my yoke here, so I can push that when I do the start. I'm going to switch this over to the left side here. That was the wrong one. Wrong click spot. Okay, before I start the engine now I can run through this checklist here. Inspection, oxygen checked, lights checked, crash lever starter is off, ignition is auto. Boost pump is not on yet. I will turn that on before I start. Fuel selector is a manual. Autopilot trim is off. Circuit breaker lights, and microphone is set to micro. Okay. Well, de-ice is all off. Inertial separator is off. Parking brake is on. Landing gear down. Manual override. All of that. Blah blah blah. All is pushed in. Breakers checked. Emergency gear is checked. Crash lever up. It is. I'll deal with all of that later. Crash clearance as required, not required. Source battery, for now at least. Generator. Put this to main. And audio alarms, I didn't check. I'll do that first. And lights are flashing. Good. The systems as well. Landing gear lights. Check down. Blinking. Lights test. Good. Fuel board checked. FD is initialized. Residual ITT 15 degrees, none. So I don't need motoring. Batteries above 24.5, so that's fine. CAS. Parking brake, fuel pressure, oil pressure as expected. Auto select is off. Low voltage. Well, it is, but then again, not that bad. Vacuum is low, of course it is. Okay. And motoring is not applicable. Engine start. Ignition is auto. Okay, so now comes the boost pump on. Prop clear and starter. And when I click the starter on for 2 seconds, I'll start the timer and watch for 13% NG, at which point I will take low idle, and we'll expect 30% NG by 30 seconds. And I will abort, of course, or cut off if it's trending towards overheating here. What does it say here? ITT 870 for 20 seconds, 1000 for 5 seconds. And NG 30 before 30, 50 before 1. And starter, when NG is above 50% and at maximum 1 minute, the starter should go to off automatically. And after that, it's all fine. So let's see if I can burn this engine up. How does that sound? Okay. Okay, prop is clear. Somebody's gonna... It's only virtual dollars, I know. But there can be many of them. And the fun thing about this propeller being feathered is that if you walk into it, you're not going to be cut to pieces, but you're going to be slapped silly. So that's fun. Okay, lights are on. Boost pump is on. So it's happy about that. Okay. Timer, starter. Okay, we have 13% right there, low idle. And it's firing up. 200, 300, 400, 5, 6, 7, and it's slowing down. Okay, 30 by 22 seconds, so that's good. And it's cooling down. And starter is off. And all of this accomplished within about 30 seconds. Oil pressure is good. And it's stable. Okay. So that's fine. As far as that's concerned. So I can take the up to flight range. So now it's unfeathering. So now if you walk into the propeller, you'll be cut to chops. So there will be dinner. Okay, so boost pump to auto, fuel selector to auto, and trims and autopilot on. Let's check here now. If the battery is below 80 amps, I can take the generator test. So where is it? There it is. No, I can split them up now. That's more easy to read. So yeah, the amps are very low because the battery was very good. So let's pull this panel up. 29 amps on the main. Let's put it on the standby. Should expect the same. 27. Okay, so it's going down because it's charging. Okay, fine. Looks good. Can take the strobes off so I don't blind people on the ground here. Okay, let's do a fuel selector test. So it's on the left tank now. Manual, shift, yeah, it goes on the right side. Okay, let's leave it at that. And I can put the AC and bleed on. An inertial separator can come on, so I don't pull all the shit on the ground here into the engine. And I can hear the engine bogging down because it's getting I'm guessing less air intake because of it's closing up shop. Okay, I can stop and reset the timer. Alright, that was the inertial separator. Good, thank you. All of this has been done now. Generator has been checked. It's on main. CAS. All of those messages are as expected. Bleed, auto, AC on, pressure mode. Okay, so I need to put in a flight plan here so that it knows where I'm going. So I'm just gonna punch in destination because I'm going to be flying VFR over there, so that's going to be Kilo Bravo X-ray uniform. No, it's not. I forgot what the name of the place is. X-ray Kilo, that's what it is. So let's see if I can fix that. Buckeye, there we have it. Good. Let's see, now LFE is at 1000 feet, so that checks out. So the pressurization will now deal with that. Not that I'm going to be high enough for that to be a big factor, but now it's done. Okay, what else? For taxiing, the ice. So the temperatures are good enough for not being ice being a factor, but there is a bit of clouds coming close to Phoenix there, and there is rain. But yeah, ice is not going to be a factor. Inertial separator on, flight controls can check. So that goes up, that goes down. So when that goes up, the spoiler is also up. I'm gonna do it like this so you can see better. And that one goes down. This one goes up with spoiler, and this one goes down without spoiler. And you can just barely see out the back window here the elevator down and up. And the rudder, we just have to accept that it works or not. I don't know. Trims, yeah, so trim. Set for takeoff. And rudder trim is to the right, to the left I mean, so that needs to be checked. I think that was due to my last flight. I landed with, I turned the autopilot off very late before landing, and the yaw damper had shifted it over to the left. Now that's done, aileron trim is neutral. Flaps will be up. MFD all is done. Throttle, feather twice. Okay, so let's do that. High idle. And there it's flat. And back up again. I've seen others do this, and it seems like others have a quicker response to go back, but I guess it's maybe it's changing between airframes. While it's coming back up, I'm gonna set up the PFD here. Wind is in number 3, and I will want all these. I want that's fine, and GPS over there. Transponder is on altitude, and it's squawking VFR. Good. And again, feather. EIS. Okay, let's do that as well. So nearest barometer is the one I'm currently at. That's 29901. Get that set. And this one. That equates to 2,030 something feet, which, as you can see, checks very much out. So I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's where we are. We are at Tucson, which is what it's. That's what is written. Tucson Aero Service Center. Alrighty. Let's just have a listen to Tucson approach. See if I can hear anybody. Not going to talk to them. That's not the plan, at least. But I'll just verify that the radio is working. It's usually a good thing. Maybe I'll just leave it there until I'm ready to taxi. Which I think I am. More or less. So, let's look at what the METAR here says. 340 at 7. So I will be departing runway 30. 2991, temperature 16.0. Don't have any cloud information, that's why the flight category is unknown, but then again, what I see is what I get, so I guess it's VFR. So 340, so I'm going to be taxiing runway 30. I'll be going out onto Bravo, which is to my left here. Follow that to Alpha, and be careful not to cross over the runway. Right on Alpha and down to the end. And departure will be well, into the gaggle of parachutes that apparently are in the area. I cannot see any, but I'll guess they are out there. It's going to be worse for them if they are there and I crash into them. So now I'm wondering, why did my iPad just shut off? Now that was unfortunate. Let's see if I can bring that back up again. Just shut right down. You can see that. And it's even charging. So that's not a factor. So why did that happen? And is it still up and running? No, it's not. Let's recycle that. Now how do I do that? Oh, there it is. So I'll deal with that right away. Easy enough to connect to it, thankfully. Technology being what it is. Alright, it's broadcasting to the PC. And we're back again. How about that? take off the power anyway. Mind of its own. Yeah, that's actually the first time I've seen this. And it it wasn't a full restart. It was just it kind of shut itself into some weird mode and then came back again. Because usually when it restarts, I need to punch in the SIM card pin code thing, and it was quicker than it usually is when it restarts. So anyway, let's just ignore that. I'm gonna put the stall and pedo warning thing on so I can have that message away. I haven't heard anything on comms yet, but well, as I said that, I heard something. Very low though. So I need to turn it off. And I'm not sure if you even heard it. Let's see here. If I can fix that. Now ATC should be audible here. I'm actually gonna bring up my audio panel here so I can hear it better too, because it was very low on my end here. So I'm gonna monitor that so I can see that you are actually hearing ATC. Not that I'm gonna be using them, but it's good to know that they're there. Okay, Ceph Taxi. So zoom in here. So straight out on Bravo and right turn on Alpha. Okay, before taxiing. Taxi lights on. Not that I really need it. It's very bright out here. And all of this is fine. Inertial separator, flight controls been checked, trims, flaps. Again, and all of this is before lining up. Okay, so gonna just do a call on CTAV 123.0. Can I just confirm that? Yes. Marana regional traffic. TBM 133 Kilo Papa, taxiing runway 30. Marana. Park and brake off. And the TBM is leaping away. So I'm gonna pull it back into taxi range, or beta as it's sometimes called. Welcome back at any point, Mr. Dan Winston. Okay, so this is Bravo. Some beautiful planes on the ramp here. Bonanza and what is that? Challenger? I don't know. I have no idea what jets are. Cessna 150, Piper Cub, King Airs, Cessna 172s, Cherokee, another Bonanza or Debonair. More Skyhawks. Okay, let's pay attention here. So the first one to the right, that's the one into the ramp. And the next one is Alpha. The next one after that will be the runway, which is not a good place for me to be. So right turn here. Clear on left, clear on right. Alright, and one more taxiway to go, and then I'll be at Alpha 1. for... Well, I'm gonna deal with that checklist when I get there. Let's just monitor Tucson approach again. I'll actually put Tucson approach on the second comm radio. This is very bad form to do this. Very bad form to do this while I'm taxiing, but yeah, I can see that it's showing up on the stream. Yeah, very broken, of course. But that is as expected. It sounds like I'm in reverse, but that's the far end of the taxi range. So blades are completely slicing through the air, not doing anything. Marana traffic. TBM 133 Kill Papa holding short runway 30, Marana. Okay, put it back into flight range. Alright, landing lights and untechnical lights when I get on the runway. Ignition is on, fuel pump and selector is auto, ice is done with, dealt with, inertial separator still on, trims, flaps. Good call. Nice thing with the checklist. So that's flaps, takeoff. Right. AC, bleed, LFE is good. Fuel gauges are reasonably balanced and amps are very good. EIS checks out and CAS messages the inertial separator, that's all. And well, departure briefing basically is takeoff yonder. I'll try to avoid parachute jumpers, and I will. Let me just put an intermediate fix here. Let's try Stanfield VOR, TFD. Let's put that into the flight plan so I have something to aim for and also something to test. So that would be TFD. I'm going to test the VNAV capabilities of this plane, or rather my understanding of the of that. So that's where I'm going. I'm actually going to activate the leg to that one instead of the direct thing here. It's going to show up more nicely on the yeah, that shows up better. Nice. Okay. Still no PCS. I haven't done anything drastic yet. Transponder is set, altitude selector. Well, that's a good call. How high am I going? Do I have any clouds? Yes, I have clouds. Yeah, I'm gonna start with 8.5 for now. 8,005 is set. And normal takeoff. And I'm relatively heavy loaded on the heavy side, so that will be let's see here. You can still see the screen here? Yeah. So this is a very interesting little thing. You can just correlate your speeds. Oh, was the wrong. Correlate your speeds to weights. I'm not fully loaded up, but I think I'm in the 6.5 to 7,000 region. So that means that my rotation speed should be something the mid to high 80s. So let's say 87. Very clever little graph there. So 10 degrees up and take the flaps up at 115. Okay, let's go. And the departure is... I was about to say clear, but am I seeing anything over there? That was windsock. Well, the windsock can't do any harm, can it? How about the final? Final looks very clear. Let's do it. So, strobes, landing lights, everything else makes sense. Marana traffic, TBM 133 Kill Papa taking off runway 30, straight out departure, Marana. Gonna turn off that radio for now. And again, check that nobody's barreling down here. Nope. Okay, I'll take that away. 30 is seen, both on the runway and also on the synthetic vision. Okay, let's try to not over-torque this poor engine. So, 2000 RPM. That's good. Let's stop around 90% torque. Airspeed alive. Engine green. 80 knots. Oh, it's rotating by its own. That's fine. Perfect. Well, it's combination takeoff and landing. That's nice. Well, no more runway, so I'm gonna take the gear up. And the flaps can come up. Up. Okay, good. So, I survived. Kind of a weird takeoff. The plane kind of lifted off by itself. It did that on my last takeoff as well. So either my trim is too much nose up, or my loading of the plane is such that it will it will tail tail heavy. So here we go. Interesting landscape. There's something fascinating about deserts for some reason for me. Okay, let's zoom out here a little bit so I have some awareness of what's going on. Marana traffic. TBM 133 Kill Papa is 5 miles northwest, climbing through 5,000, departing here to the northwest. Final call, Marana. Okay, let's do a quick climb up to... actually, let's get the autopilot going. I'm gonna... Since I'm flying with this plane, I might as well get the autopilot training done. So let's do flight level change at 145 knots. So autopilot on. So now it's going heading, which is actually I can go nav now since I'm so close to the course. And it's I can take half bank. No, I have to avoid that. Yeah, so autopilot, yaw damper, and flight level change at 145 knots, so it's climbing according to that. I can take the inertial separator off because I'm sufficiently high above the terrain. I'll take off landing gear, up, check up. That's a good call. Up, flaps, check up, torque max, EIS, flying, CAS is now 0, DIs as required, inertial separator as required, climb, and all of this is fine. Yep, 1,000 feet to go. I'll be there in 40 seconds or so. Oh, 30 more or less. I know for a fact, though, that this area is filled up with gorgeous small airfields. A lot of farm strips, and also just you know, places where people go out and enjoy themselves with their. We'll be there in 2 weeks. So are we talking in the sim or in real life? And what I mean by that is the sim is real life. So are you going to go there in person is what I mean. With work, okay. Bunch of works in the Phoenix area, okay. So do you live far away from Phoenix in real life? Yeah, it's about 20 degrees on the ground here, so it's you know, decent. I'm noticing now that it's still in heading mode. And it's armed as far as GPS capture. And I'm wondering, is that because I'm paralleling the course? So if I turn it to the left now. Ah, Missouri, okay, yeah. That's not too far away. Unless you're flying a Piper Cub, of course. Oh, by the way, you probably also join into the discussion about taking that flight of passage trip. Where do I have the book? I have it hidden somewhere around here. Yeah, it's right behind me here. I've been dreaming about taking that flight in the sim for many years now, and I'm just wondering if that might be something that we could probably cooperate in creating, like you know, recreating some of these old airfields from back then. You know, digging up pictures and you know, kind of creating those spots and making a bit of a project of taking those people around. I'm really up for it. I might do it myself regardless, but it would just be cool to have a bunch of other aviation nerds join in on that fun. Such a marvelous story, and it's just a perfect thing to just go you know, low and slow and you know, explore the country, getting a bit of history and you know, just local knowledge. So, I now turn a few degrees to the left here. I think one of the reasons why I'm not intercepting, well, I'm slowly intercepting now, but I have a crosswind, an 18 knot crosswind, so I was slowly pushed away from the course, so the GPS wasn't able to capture it because I was going further away. Now I'm the cross-track error. Why doesn't it show up here? It's gone now. It's probably because now the line here is coming in. Yeah, so that is coming in. So that means that it's in a few seconds there it will change from heading mode to GPS, and it will start intercepting. So what it did previously, I was just paralleling the track, slowly going away from the track, so it couldn't intercept it. I was on a non-intercepting course. Now, however, it is. So this should change now in a matter of seconds. But in my experience, it shouldn't change course. It should do this very shallow angle of intercept. Some other GPSs I've seen, they will turn outbound 30 degrees to intercept. I think this will accept whatever I get, and it will turn when it needs to turn to line up with the course. And when is that going to happen? Is that what it's doing now? No, it's still on course. 289. There it is. No, I saw them again change here. Ah, never mind. It's a very, very shallow angle. It probably doesn't change much at all because the wind is sufficient to be needing that crab angle. So maybe it'll change to 293 or something. 292. Let's see what happens now. There it is, GPS. So it turns. So let's see how much it thinks it needs to combat the wind here. So now it's turning back again a little bit. So 295, okay. Okay, anyway, it works. So it did the thing. Okay, I don't like this, however. I'm now starting to get above a few layers here. Let's see what the weather down here is reported to be. Scattered 7,000. That's 7,000 above ground level. So that's Akchin regional. Let's do like this. Take this out a little bit. There, down, right down there. That's what it's reporting. 7,000 scattered. And 8,000. So it's basically at my level. So this is what they are seeing. Let's see what I get further on. Let's see here at Phoenix Goodyear, scattered 4,000 at elevation 1,000 feet. So it's going to be worse when I get over there. Scattered 4,000, broken 7,000. So I better get down. Basically, that's what I'm thinking. So I will try to add. Also, I just need to contend with the Bravo here. I don't want to go into that on this flight. And I'm thinking I want to go to that Bishop airfield. So let's add that. 1 Alpha Zulu 0. See what the VNAV calculation will be. So 1 Alpha Zulu 0 mobile. That's what it's called before. So that's now centered there, and I want to be there at, let's say, 3,000 feet. So, okay, so that's going to be very close already. So let's dial this down. VNAV. So that'll be upon me right now. Actually, the descent. That was a very, very tight timing here. So let's set it to. I'm going to set. Let's pretend that I get a level off at 5,000. Because I did a flight yesterday where I got a level off. I don't like this cloud. I can see through it. Or actually, I don't see any clouds. Do you see any clouds? I see this layer that I'm descending below. That's perfect, isn't it? So I'm just gonna... oh, there's a cloud. No, I can see through it. It's fine. Yes, so I had this flight yesterday where my vertical track was interrupted by a level off from ATC, and when I resumed I was kind of above the VNAV path and I wasn't able to capture it again. So I'm just going to experiment a little with that now to see if I can recreate that scenario. Yeah, just to practice that problem that comes up. So let's see here. Let's bring up that panel again. So all that is now fine. It's now VPath down to 3,000, but it's going to stop at 5 because that's where it's bugged now. That one is centered, and this one is at a required vertical speed of 1,100, 1,200 feet. So that's fine. So time to bottom of descent, it's about almost 3 minutes, but I'm going to be at 5,000 in 1 minute, so I'm going to stay at 5,000 for 30 seconds just to practice that, to see this get off scale, and just try to resume it. I have to then do a little bit more than the vertical speed required to catch up with the descent profile. So I'm just going to see how that pans out. Okay, so lights are still on. All this is good. Can probably put on the inertial separator now because I'm getting into dusty territory here. Okay, 5,000. It's coming up. So I'm gonna light it level off. Set the timer. Let it go for a minute. Or half a minute. I think the airfield in front of me here is the one I'm going to. Yes, that's mobile. I don't mind that so much. I'm gonna... inertial separator on. Good. I'm gonna allow myself to overfly it. That's not a problem. Okay, 30 seconds. Reset. So now I get clear down to 3,000. So now I have to set vertical speed. I set it to, it requires 1,500 feet, so I'm going to take 1,800 and slow down a little bit. Full power. And set the VNAV back on. So it hasn't captured yet, it's still armed as far as that's concerned. But let's see if I can capture it. Could be a little bit of an experiment here. So this one is coming up. now it should be VPath is going to turn green in a few seconds here, and it's going to take the VPath down to 3000 instead of my... yeah, now it's doing that. Okay, good. So then I kind of know how to deal with that. I like that. Let's see how this looks. It's my black TBM flying over mobile. So do I want to have a touch and go here? Yes, I do. Because there's a bit of a story to this one. Let's see. Autopilot is off. Turn the flight director off. No, now it's off. And yaw damper, of course, off. Good grief. There. Okay. So now, let's see here. There is no CTAF for this airport, and I'm just gonna go into the runway, to the east runway here. Drag this in here. That'll give me... No, it doesn't. Let's see here. 27 is... no, 9er is the runway. Gear. Speed checks, gear down. And I can take approach flaps. A bit of a shoddy pattern, this. So I'll just blame my GPS practicing is the reason for this. This airport, which was called Mobile, but has very recently changed name to Bishop Airfield. This was a private airfield that Lufthansa was doing training for their pilots. So it's a kind of a big runway out in the middle of nowhere.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Pull up.
Yeah.
Pull up. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
I wonder if it's...
Sink rate. Too low. Terrain. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Let's see here. Why does it say that? Is it because I don't have full flaps?
Terrain ahead.
500.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna ignore that. I'm just gonna do a touch and go here anyway.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Sink rate. Sink. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Gary
Pull
is
up.
down, so...
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Oh, now she's very
Pull up.
concerned here.
Pull up. Pull up.
Pull up.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Sink rate.
So let's go. And gear gun up. And flappage coming up. And yes, Lufthansa had a training facility, or they used that airfield for training. And what is more interesting than that is the fact that they have an unpublished ILS for runway 9 that I was landing on now. And it's not in the sim, or it is in my sim. It's installed because the guy, Gareth, who created all the airports for the Oregon APC Challenge, he decided to make to try out creating an ILS. So he put in all the stash, all those things around the airport that you need for the ILS, and programmed an ILS into it. That was very interesting. So he created the ILS based on the data we could find online. So that's a little bit of a story behind that field. So it has an ILS. It's not published, I think, or maybe the frequency is there, but it's not something you could just pull up. I think, at least. No known procedures. But it does. I think you could see it under remarks here. Private airstrip, private practice ILS approach, traffic pattern use. Oh, there's actually an CTAF there. But the frequency is not published, at least not on ForeFlight. But I think it's possible to find somewhere online if you really want it. Yeah, so cool little airfield, and it's just a few miles outside of Phoenix Bravo here. And I guess that's probably why. So they fly there if they want flight training for you know, Lufthansa pilots. They probably have a base in the region around Phoenix. But they go out to this little field because they can be outside there, not being bothered by other traffic, so they can do their shenanigans in peace and quiet. Anyways, so now I need to be prepared here, because if I go direct now, I'll be cutting through the Bravo. No, actually I'm below it, so that's fine. It's 7,000 feet there, and the 6,000 shelf is close by, so that's probably no factor. Take the flight plan page away so I can see more what's going on. But do I want to go? There's a bit of a... Let's see here. Oh, I didn't see that before. There's a tag chart here. I love tag charts. Yeah, so there's some terrain here. Actually, I'm more or less to the southwest of the most important terrain here. So I think I'll be fine as far as that goes. Don't want to mess with this either. What did I call this? This is what is that airspace? Special rules area. Special air traffic rule, SATAL. Not very often seen in charts. Okay, let's pull up the weather. Buckeye. 320 at 5, and there's runway 35, so that'll be it. Visibility 10, view at 6,000, so okay, it's clearing up over there. Overcast 9, so no factor. Temperature 14, 2.6, 2994. Set that. Set and set. Good. Okay, so any other airspace to contend with? So there's this special thing there. I don't want to mess with that. Also beware of this farm field here. Basically on funnel. It's going to be a thing. I'll widen out a little bit to the west here, so I don't have to fly over these towns. And also departures or approaches to Goodyear might be coming through this area. They'll probably be in the Bravo though, so they'll be above me. So we see this planning, the big aircraft symbol here, 15,000 to 7,000, 15 to 7. So if I'm below that, I should be more or less fine. Alright, so I'll squeeze this in a little bit, take this away. Didn't do the checklist before that touch and go, and she was screaming, and I'm wondering if that was because I didn't have full flaps. Because I was doing a touch and go, I was thinking it's best to not have full flaps. And again, that might be wrong. Okay, everything here is as it should be. Basically, during a flight, apart from lights, I don't need to touch anything up there. So it's very easy plane in that sense. The Beaver, for example, it's much more complex to deal with than the TBM. The Beaver has all kinds of silly things you have to deal with, you know, lots of trimming for one thing, and just the dealing with the flaps, you know, the pumping of the flaps and all that, in all those increments. It's a bit of a mess, which is why I like it, and it's very agriculture in that sense. It's got a big lever to you know, to pump the flaps, so it's like a tractor. Right, Buckeye is at CTAF 122.907. It's a right pattern for 17, but I'm not going to go 17. I'm going to go 35. Let's set this to OBS and turn the course to 350. Bit of a mess, a good way, but yeah, well, also there's the landing bit. Ground loops and all. 122.907. 975. Set. Okay, good. So I'm gonna fly. Let's see here. What am I seeing here? These are just road lights, I think. I'm basically flying as I would in the Beaver, low and slow. Although this is 50 knots, 60 knots faster than the Beaver would do. This is just my natural instinct is to do like this. Any sane TBM pilot will probably be a couple of thousand feet above me, and he would be flying at 220 knots instead. Regardless, I'm going to be actually weaving my way through this little ridge line here. It's going to take me into the... actually, that's the clever thing about having the OBS, because now it's drawing basically a final into the airport. So I can actually use this as almost like a localizer. It's not going to line directly up with the runway, but reasonably close. So altimeter is set, minimums, no factor, comm set, pressurization, it's fine. Fuel gauges, balanced, amps, volts, fine. DIs required, inertial separator on, lights are on. And I'll take lights and landing lights, landing gear and flaps as I get there. Okay. Let's see where we are. Buckeye traffic. TBM 133 Kilpapa is 10 miles to the south, 3,000 feet. We'll be joining straight in final, runway 35, full stop, Buckeye. I can see the airport. White chair. And that military complex is over there somewhere. And over there, in the fog there, cannot see it, but it's over there. That's where Phoenix is. What am I seeing here? Is this another airfield? No, it's just not an airfield. That's what it is. Alright. Buckeye traffic, TBM 3 Kilpapa on a 7-mile final, runway 35, full stop, Buckeye. Let's see if I'm able to land here without disturbing our good person inside the airplane who's screaming at me for terrain, terrain, pull up. She was getting really pissed off at the end there. I never forget the gear speeds. What is that? 178. Okay, that's fine. Gear down. Just gonna slow me down. And I can pull flaps one notch. Gear is down to 3 greens. Wait a little bit on the full flaps here. I'm happy to see that this airfield has poppy lights. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Buckeye traffic, TBM, Trickle Papa, 3 mile final, runway 35, full stop, Buckeye. A little bit of a crosswind here, 5 knots. I see no traffic in the area. Okay, now I can take the full flappage. The classic TBM fashion, it will go very much nose down with all the flaps. It's like the wing is cut in half or folded over. Buckeye traffic, TBM, Trickle Papa, short final, 35, full stop.
500.
Buckeye. Needing a little bit more crosswind correction here. Gear is down. Displays threshold, is that what I'm seeing? Nope, it's just come on.
Airspeed.
A little bit shabby as far as center line. There was a center line there somewhere, but really didn't see it anywhere. But I did have a very soft touchdown, so there's that. That's one of the things you learn with flying tail draggers, is that normal tricycle gear planes are so much easier to land. Buckeye traffic, TBM Trickle Papa clear, off 35 to the right. Buckeye. Okay, let's stop here and clean up the plane. Flaps up and taxi lights and strobes off. All this can stay as it is. All right. Where am I? Where am I going? I'm going to Buckeye Municipal. There's no FBO that is to speak of. So right turn on hotel. Runway is clear. Lights is dealt with. Flaps and all of that is good. Okay, good. Gear can stay down, I think. let's roll. Clear on left. Clear on the right. Let's see if there's any safe taxi diagram here. Oh, yeah, there is. Good. So now the plane is rolling away from me here. So I think next left will be fine. Take me into the ramp here. Ride the brakes a little bit to slow down here. One thing that I'm going to do very quickly here now is I'm going to open... there are some study panels for this TBM because Todorico and the HotStart crew are fanatical about showing off the internal workings of their planes, which I love. So I can look at so many different aspects of the plane, as far as you know, temperatures and pressures and all kinds of weird stuff that I don't understand at all, but it's cool to look at. I'm just gonna stuff the plane on right here. I'm gonna stump on the right brake here. Like that. See how that pans out as far as temperatures. So I'm gonna expect the right brake to have more temperature than the left one, just for that little thing. So let's see, gear info. Yeah, have a look at that. Right brake is at 87 and the left is at 49. It's probably going to cool down very quickly, but you see the they spiked up right now. That might also have been earlier in the process here. Kind of a cool thing. And also there's of course the engine info. All of this. If I just give it a little shot of power. So many cool things that are changing. And I know this is just a hint of a smidge of what you can get from the Challenger. The Challenger is, and I don't have the Challenger, but I've seen other people look at these panels of the Challenger, and it's fantastic how much detail you can glean from these panels. So you can you know, look at trend over time, if you so desire. Or you could just look at it and marvel and just pretend that you understand it. I don't. But it's cool to know it's there. That's kind of it's like a placebo thing in a way, because let me just kill that for-flight thing that is standing across the ECS panel. Yeah, it's like a placebo thing, because it's if you know that all these things are in the background, you can kind of trust that the systems are probably more likely to be correct, or at least that they have thought about some of the aspects behind it. That's why I love A2A simulations, because they have they've kind of dug into the stuff and thought about it. So it's I don't have to look at these things when I'm flying. I don't want to, but I like to know that they're there. So let's just, for example, just have a tiny change here. I'm gonna set the taxi lights off, I don't expect anything on the ECS panel to change. Not on the gear panel, not on the engine panel. But on here, so I'll expect the voltage to remain the same, I think, but the resistance should change, I think. Let's just see what happens. Nope, I don't see any difference. Maybe the voltage... Ah, the current. When I turned it on, it went up. Let's see here. So I don't see much of a change when I turned it off. The resistance is trending upwards, but let's see if I turn it on. So okay, so the resistance is kind of nilled out, and then it comes back up. Well, I don't understand electricity, so I don't know what's happening there. Somebody who knows what's going on could probably tell me. Yeah, I know that's one of the things I love about X-Plane, though, is that you know, it's built more from the ground up. So it's they want the baseline physics to be as good as possible, at least, and then the results should come naturally from that. And that's a good approach to take, I think. Anyways, so my plan now is I think I'll do one more flight, but I will yeah, engineering tool. I will have a short break actually. So what is the remainder? The next flight I need to take is very, very short. Much shorter than this. It's actually just over to Chandler Municipal. So that's about 50-mile flight. So I think I'm gonna take a short break because I need something to eat because I'm starving. And then I will be doing the remainder of the flight. And I won't fault you for going away, but if you tune back in about 10 minutes, I will be back. And we'll be doing this very quickly. Dinner, well, this is going to be my evening meal at 1:30 in the night. But you know me, I'm a night owl, so that's how I'm doing. So I'm going to shut down, and that's going to be the thing that I haven't done before in this plane, is to shut it down and then go for a flight rather quickly. And that's going to be interesting because residual ITT is a problem with these turbine engines. So it will go down and it will come back up again a little bit while the engine is cooling down. So that's an interesting aspect. Okay, let's turn on the cabin lights so I can see better what's going on if it gets dark. Okay, shut down. Parking brake set, lights are as required. Actually, I can take the taxi lights off. And autopilot trims go off, fuel selector manual, and that's on auto, so that's fine. Well, that's good, okay. Anything else? Air condition can come off. Bleed off. Inertial separator can come off after I shut down. Okay, so it's been idling for long enough, so I can take it to low idle. Low idle. I'll leave it there for 15 seconds before I cut it off. And let's watch the ITT. It's at 600 degrees now, so that's going to be interesting here. Monitor that. So now it's been 15 seconds or so. Off we go. It's going to, of course, come down because it's not burning any more fuel, but there's going to be something left in the combustion chamber. So all these warnings. Okay, that's the sound of the auxiliary boost pump, which automatically turns on. You can turn it off. Ignition comes off, starter is off, generator off, and nav lights off, and all those doorbells come off. So now the residual ITT is coming up. So let's bring up that panel. Let's do it like this, so I can take the panel up a little bit more. ITT. It was at 600, and when I shut it down, that was the low idle, I think, this segment here. And when I shut it down, it immediately went down to 260 or so. And now it's back to 300. That's because it's picking up temperature from the turbines and or the combustor. So this temperature needs to come down before everything, all of this is cooling down. So these will rise to meet the temperature of the combustor. So it's kind of, they're kind of converging, and then they will both hold hands cooling down. So this temperature needs to be below, the ITT needs to be below 150 to start the engine. That's not a good place. So if I shut down the engine, I'm kind of stuck, unless you go for the before starting, there's another way of starting it. It's motoring. If residual ITT is above 150, then you basically run the engine with ignition off and just on the starter for maximum 30 seconds, it says. Hello, Skydiver Rob. Hello, howdy. Howdy, hi. And welcome to Buckeye Municipal Airport, where I just parked and cooling down the engine. Actually, it's heating up. The ITT is heating up while the engine is off. So that's perfect. I'm going to go fly more, but I'm shutting down my engine and my plane for a few minutes so I can go get some food. And I will be back in a few minutes. But before that, I will... actually, I can just leave it as it is, I think. Separator can... No, it has to go off. Because I cannot start the engine with the inertial separator on. I'm going to dial up the approach here so I can have that ready to go. Phoenix approach below 7,500. Take this panel away. Patient twiddling thumbs in. Okay, well, I can't, because I love this plane so much now that I just have to still keep Explain 11 going. And Explain 11 isn't bad looking, I must say. I mean, it's still a good looking sim, if I must say so. This is a beautiful airplane, by the way. Have a look at this. Lovely. I understand you miss it. If you do have Explain 11 still installed, take it up for a spin. If you don't, well, I don't know what to tell you. What was I saying? I was saying that I would put in Phoenix Approach 124.1. Let's see here. It's going to put it into 124.1. That checks out. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there while I go get food so that there's something interesting going on. So, that having been said, I'm going to do like that. And open up. Yes, I know the door is open. That's by design. I'll have a good eat. I'll be back in a few minutes and go fly a little bit more. There's a short leg remaining for the night, but I will be back. I'll see. There I am. I see the cooling hasn't happened. Well, it's happening. But it's not going very fast. So there will be motoring to happen soonish. So I've already filed my flight plan from Buckeye to Chandler Municipal. And so now it's probably better, because now you can hear me talk here. If you didn't hear me, I was just musing about the temperatures not coming down very fast, and that I've filed my flight plan. And I have bread all over my shirt. So let's set this over here. It's very dark, I know. And bring up this. So now the flight plan is going to change. I'm going from Buckeye to CHD, I think. Yeah, that's what it's called. Not too far away at all. And somebody just followed. Hello, Scheisen 737. Scheisen, is that I'm not sure. Is that how you write it in German? Scheisse. In any case, Scheisse, welcome to the or thanks for the follow. 10,500 is going to be on the high side. I think I'm going to go 5.5. Tailwind, perfect. So, let's slide the checklist a little bit to the side here. So the plan is to, well, I'm going to be doing a left downwind departure and get away from that military complex here. You can basically following this this area here. This let's drag out of course here. Straight out, I'm gonna cross over that road. Let's plan it this way. Let's do a 4-flight rubber band trip here. Down to the railroad. I'm gonna stay away from the railroad because that goes close to the military area. Follow this thing here. It looks like it's kind of a it's like a yeah, Salt and Gila rivers, bald eagle breeding areas. It's probably something that they want people to stay away from. I'm going to stay away from it in terms of altitude. The Bravo is going to come into contention, not here, but here, above this PIR here. It's a racetrack or something like that. I've been flying over it before. It's a very, very obvious landmark if it's daytime, which it isn't. Also, weather might be a factor here. Let's see, scattered 4,000, so 5,500 might be actually too high. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stay at 3,500. So I'm actually going to be almost below the Bravo the whole way, but I'm going to need either a clearance or have it fly below it. I'll see what they say when I get here, but I'm gonna just give myself a good healthy red line here, because that's gonna be 3,000. That's gonna be inside if I stay at 3.5. And I'm not gonna continue all the way up to the Phoenix airport. Actually, I might just follow the northeast side of the mountains here once I get around them. I think that's going to be the most clever way of doing it. I'm going to go southeast there and drop into Chandler from there. So let's see, the wind is from the west at 8 knots, so I'll be going around. It's going to be crosswind regardless, but yeah, I'm going to go around to the 2-2 side. Left traffic for 2-2 left. So I'm going to be landing on left side. Just because that's, well, actually, it's going to be easier for me to land on the right side, 2-2 right, because I'm going to go straight into the apron. I think that's going to be the plan. You're going to enter a right pattern. And the altitudes for the Bravo here are sufficiently high. That's not going to be a factor. So I will just have to be very careful here, because there's a dumpster fire of airports around this area. This old thing here, I'm going to have a look at that. I'm going to take that as a landmark. I'm going to fly slightly to the south of it, so I can have a good look out my left window. And actually, I'm going to use a for-flight function that I very seldom use. Procedures and traffic circuit. 2-2 right. And right traffic 45. There we have it. Perfect. Actually, I can forgo that particular one. So I'm not going to go 45. I'm going to do it like this. That's basically the right pattern. Looks like a tight pattern, but I'll be fine, I think. Okay, so that's the flight plan as far as that goes. Oh, the TAC chart is so much easier to read. So except that area here on the final for the east, eastern or the west facing Bravo, apart from that, the airspace is not going to be coming into play unless I widen out too much here. So if I see the high school, that's going to be a marker, but I don't think that's going to be a factor. But I will need to call approach because I want to have flight following and possibly Bravo clearance for this shelf here. I could go around it, actually, if I hug the mountains. So I'll see when I get there how comfortable I feel with that. Pretty crazy the performance and power you can get from compressing air. Yeah, it's yeah, it's a fantastic creation. But you see, temperatures are still not down to where they are supposed to be for a good start. So if I didn't know better, I would just fire it up. That would be bad. That would probably be very, very bad. That would probably make a very bright and lovely fireball on the ramp here. And we don't want that, do we? Or do we? We'll see what happens. I'm going to try to follow the checklist and do the motoring as prescribed here. Let's see here. Temps. As you see here, motoring, if residual ITT is above 150 degrees, as you see, the ITT is 240, so it's well above that. It's cooling down slowly, but it was 10 minutes ago. It was at 275. You can see here the data here, 238. So now it's 10 minutes ago, it's 275. So it's really slow. But that's the thing here, this checklist here. The motoring is a way to run the engine to push out or to basically blow air through the engine to cool it down before you actually start it up again. So there's a procedure for this. Basically, ignition off, no fuel, and just run the starter for a maximum of 30 seconds. That should push out any residual fuel that might have pooled inside the combustion chamber, or at least just push air through to cool things down. So that's what I'm going to do now. So that's I'm going to leave this this up for when I do this. So let's see here. If I do it like this, I know you can't see it right now, but I'm going to do it like that. And then I'm going to step inside the plane again. It's really, really dark. I can't see anything, but let's hope it's light enough inside to be able to see. So, shut the door. And close that. And it's green. Good-o. And lights. So I'm not sure if it's visible, but in any case, this graph here should drop a lot when I do this procedure. And if you can read these numbers up here, which I'm kind of doubtful that you can, but it's now at 230. It should drop. But you can also see it here on the gauge here. It says 228. You can read them. Perfect. Very good. I'm happy about that. So let's see here. Inertial separator is... Hello, Scheisen. FPS is too high. You play 8 FPS. Welcome to the chat, by the way. And lovely nickname if Scheisen is the German word. I'm not sure if it's spelled the way I think it is, but I don't know. I don't know German. FPS is too high. Well, what do I have? I have almost 50 frames per second. Let's see here. Okay, batteries. Let's put the generator on. So this ignition is going to be off for sure. The boost pump it says it's supposed to be on. Okay, it's fine. But I'm not going to have the fuel on. So that's the clever thing here. You run the starter for about 30 seconds, but you don't introduce the fuel. And you don't have the ignition on. That should do the trick. So let's put on the strobes in case things happen. And I'm going to put on the taxi lights so I can see the ramp in front of me here. So prop is clear. Okay, cross our fingers to see if we can get the temperatures down. It's now at 224. And I'm going to also set a timer here. Okay, let's go for it. Just verify ignition is off. Starter is on. Maximum 30 seconds. See, ITT is coming down. 15 seconds, and it's now passing 160, 150, 140, 30, 25 seconds. Okay, so shut it down. Okay, seems to be working. Still not cold, but it is at least very much colder. Let's take the aux boost pump off again. Whew. This plane kind of stresses me out a little bit, and I like it. So the ITT came down, my pulse came up. Interesting though, is the ITT came down, and all of it came down, but the combustor is still hotter than both the ITT and the turbines. So the combustion area is still hotter. So that's one driving up the temperature of the turbines and the interstage turbine temperature. Actually, it is part of, you can do it shutting down, Skydive Rob, to do the motoring while shutting down. And it's probably clever in the sense that you don't have to wait around the airplane to be able to put the covers back on, because this simulator being what it is, you cannot put the engine covers on before it's cold enough. So you can click on it when you shut down and leave the plane, but it will say that they will not be put in place before the engine is sufficiently cold, so it will just basically be put back on while you're away when the sim is off. Or you can do as you suggest, do that afterwards. So, because, let's see here, it's a checklist here. So on shutdown, I think... no, it's not listed here, but I think I've seen somewhere that it's part of you can do it on shutdown instead. So indeed, you're correct. That can be done. But anyway, it's now cold enough for me to be able to start it. I'm just now wondering if I have battery enough to be able to commence an engine start. I need, what is it? More than 24.5 volts. And I just barely do. So now we're going to have the complication of a battery that is slightly drained, which is going to make the start sequence slower, which is going to make the possibility of a hot start higher. And the engine is already hot. So that's going to be interesting to see if that conspires to make the engine at least get very close to or above 870 degrees. Which is fine, as long as it doesn't stay there. So, let's do that. The start, not the hot start. I've had enough hot starts as there is. So let's get back this back into display backup. And make sure again that the inertial separator is off. And everything else seems to be fine. That's switched off, and lights can stay as they are. And all this is fine. Okay, boost pump coming on. Yes, I know. And okay, let's reset the timer here. Okay, fingers crossed that I'm not gonna blow up this engine. So now I'm going to start the starter and the timer and introduce the fuel. Oh no, let's not forget the ignition. That was my mistake on one of my first starts of this plane, which cost a lot of simulator money. Okay, let's go for it. Timer on, starter. 2 seconds. And NG is at slowly to 13. Okay, fuel. ITT is coming down, but now it's lighting up, so now it's coming up. Rising, 600, 700, 800. Ooh, 850. Come on. Oh, okay, it's going down. Nice. And it's above 30 NG by 30 seconds. And it looks like it's stabilizing. Very good. Flight range. Okay, so it was 850 or something, 856 or whatever it was. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. And is as expected. Set that to auto. Fuel switches to auto and all of that. Strobes could come off. And we can take the inertial separator on. Ooh, it's a bit of a stressful plane, this, I gotta say. And I love it. And I'm wondering what would have happened if I didn't do that motoring. I would have had 100 degrees more temperature in the interstage turbine area. So I would have had at least something very, very close to a bad hot start. Anyways, that's all fine as it is. Engine after engine start. So boost pumps are auto, fuel selector is on auto. I did the shift testing previously. Let's see, the amps 66, so that's fine. I did the test of the generator previously. I can put on the AC and the bleed. And I'm gonna have to set the flight plan. Okay, so now it's, I could go into that one. And I can delete the flight plan. Now I'm going to see, what is it? CHD. Kilo Charlie Hotel Delta. Chandler Municipal. Fine. Perfect. Because that's going to be populated into the LFE, landing field elevation. That's done. And that's basically it. I'm going to set that to be the elevation of that airport is 1300, so I'm going to set that to 2500, just to have a number there. Okay, good. Let's though activate leg. That one I want activated. Thus. Probably not needed though. Right, I'm still in OBS mode. No, I'm not. Now I'm in OBS mode. Because I want my course to reflect the runway. Tree 5. Set. Alright. Flight plan, go away. I have the taxi diagram up. Still squawking VFR, so I can call up Felix approach when I get airborne. De-ice, I will put the pitot and that on. Yes, thank you. Trim. Set for takeoff. A little bit of right rudder. I'm gonna set a little bit lower than I normally have because I've been rotating too early lately. So I'm gonna try that, see how that works. Flaps I'll take when I get to the runway, and the feathering of the propeller, I'm gonna skip that because I've done that several times already. Taxi lights and before lineup. Okay, good. Good to go. Let's see. The Buckeye reports 8 minutes ago. Wind is calm. So I could actually take the southern runway. No, I'm gonna take the north because that's what was used when I got in here, and I'm not gonna change around. 10 miles, broken 6.5, 13, 2.7, 2, 994, set and set. Good to go. Go away. Okay. So left downwind departure. Actually, there's a left crosswind departure. So I'm going to take a left downwind down to the train tracks coming from the west here. Cross those and go slightly to the south of that farm field. Probably not going to be seeing it in the dark anyway. Gonna aim myself towards Goodyear, staying on the south side, trying to see if I can find this pier, whatever that is. It's a racetrack, I think, and then staying to the northeast of the mountains. Getting a Bravo clearance, or not. That's what the red line is for. Dropping in on a right downwind for runway 22 right at Chandler. That's a good plan. But I'm gonna have approach ready in COM 1 as well. 124.1. 24.1. Approach. Okay, so I'll switch around this one to monitor guard, so that is ready to rock and roll when that is, when or if that is needed. Okay. Buckeye has right pattern for 1.7, so that's not a factor for me. Okay. Am I ready for this? So what do I need of lights here? Can this be enough? It can. Or how about turning off that one? That's going to be too dark, perhaps. That's fine, I think. Turn that off when I depart. I have an immense feeling of having forgotten something. Perfect. Ooh! Stubbed my knee into the instrument panel. It's gonna make me crippled. Okay. Parking brake. Off. Okay, so turning to the right here to get onto the taxiway. And way too much power here. Buckeye traffic, TBM 133 Kill Papa, taxing runway 35. Buckeye. Okay, that's going to be to the left here. See no traffic there, no traffic here. I'm wondering, for a second here now, is that brightness of that screen changing with that? Nope, it doesn't affect the stream, but I'm going to turn it down a little bit for my sake at least. I'm also going to turn down the lights in my room here a little bit here. Much better. Now I can see where I'm going, which is usually beneficial. That's the sound of the very flat propellers cutting through the air. Being in the taxi range, beta range. Okay, tree 5 coming up. Buckeye traffic, TBM 133 Kill Papa holding short runway tree 5 will be a minute. Buckeye. Okay, so all of the run-up stuff is done. So all is ready, and departure has been more or less briefed. Plenty of runway, but since I will say it this way. I have Bravo coming up here, and then Charlie. That's 2,000 feet till the second taxiway. If I'm not very much rotated by then, I will go full reverse and stop. And after that, I have all kinds of roads, and it's a desert, so there's all kinds of stuff where I can land on and in. And let's put it this way, I will be at 1,000 feet above ground in a few seconds. If I am above that, I will be very happy to turn back and land. And the wind is calm, so I can go straight in wherever I want. And in all other altitudes will be fine, I think, to glide to any other airports in the area here. Anyway, I'm gonna bug 3,500. Like so. And I think that's gonna be fine. So let's see here. Before lineup. Landing lights, nav lights, strobe ignition, and fuel and boost pumps and eyes and inertial separators and trims. All that I did on the ramp. So the only thing now is flaps set to take off. And fuel is balanced. Cast messages, only the separator is on. That's fine. There's no SID. Transponder is on VFR. Okay, let's just check that everything is on here. I'm going to take the lights when I get onto the runway here. So all this, I cannot see any of this. So I will do like, where's that button? There's that button. On, also, auto, off, on, and as expected. Okay, good. Strobage and landing lights. And flaps are down, or takeoff. Buckeye traffic, TBM 133 Kilo Papa, taking off runway 35, left downwind departure. Buckeye. Thank you, Skydiver Rob. You're gonna need that too, because you're in the back seat here. You are right there. So hold on to your hoses. Right, let's go. I'm not sure if I should be sitting on the ground like that with the propeller in beta range. It doesn't sound good. And beta blockers, that's perfect. So you didn't notice that I was in beta range, and I'm in beta range now. As long as you don't have flight range blockers, then I'm fine. This is I mean, X-Plane is still, X-Plane 11 that is still a gorgeous sim. I'm gonna take this down a notch here, because it's too bright. Thus. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, RPM is set. Let me stop this at 85. Or so. Okay, 85 and 90, that's fine. Engine, green, airspeed, alive, center line. Okay, coming up on the first taxiway. the second one. And rotate. Nice. And how to use full runway, gear up. Okay, zoom out a little bit here. Look at the light bath. Beautiful. Buckeye traffic. TBM trickle papa left crosswind runway 35. Buckeye. Okay. Flaps up. Flaps are up. Okay, coming up on cruise altitude already here. Buckeye traffic, TBM, trickle papa turning left, downwind, runway 35. Buckeye. Yeah, this cloud layer is gonna hold me down. It's a gorgeous sight. Okay, I'll be trucking on to the south here a little bit. Probably not going to be able to see the railroad though. Okay, I'm going to keep all my lights on and the inertial separator on. And I can go OBS mode off. Just leave everything as is, I think. Pulling quite a bit of power back here. Buckeye traffic, TBM 133 Kill Papa is 3 miles to the southwest, 3,500 departing the area. Final call, Buckeye. There's a road next to the railroad here, so somewhere dark here is the railroad, but I think I'm fine to turn here. So I'm going to shift over to Phoenix Approach. And let's see here. Have to take off. All that is fine up. And yeah, I think all of this is gonna change rather quickly into an approach setting. I haven't heard a peep from the approach yet, but I'm gonna call them and see. So where am I? Let's... I'm from Buckeye VOR. I am 10 miles southeast from Buckeye. Have a nice sleep, Scheisen. And welcome back anytime. Phoenix Approach. TBM 133 Kill Papa is 12 miles southeast of Buckeye VOR, 3,500 VFR flight following to Chandler.
133 Kilo Papa Phoenix approach, squawk 5333.
Squawk 5333, TBM 3 Kilo Papa. Five, 333, set.
One 133 Kilo Papa, radar contact 11 miles southeast of Buckeye. And the Phoenix altimeter 2991.
901, TBM 3 Kilo Papa. So, set. Can stand to go a little bit faster here. 140 is on the slow side here. Feels like.
Here, Quebec Connect NorCal approach 135.1.
So that farm strip that I was passing is completely invisible. It's in the dark, just behind the wing there.
Local approach, good evening, Search 122, check with 14,500, seen climbing and down at 1,000 further, 15,500.
122, Sierra Quebec NorCal approach, roger the Concord altimeter 3009er.
09er. Springs Tower, 1025 Victor, do you have radar contact?
25 Victor, contact, Springs departure.
Contacting departure, 25 Victor. Springs departure, this 1025 Victor at 7,800, climbing 10,000.
1025 Victor, Springs departure, radar contact.
Right. Things have settled down a little bit here. On my way into the light bath that is Phoenix. Yeah, so that's Sky Harbor over there. So to my left here, that should be Goodyear. Right here. Kind of scary with these mountains here. I can see the outline of them. Don't really have a good call of where they are. It's a good thing I have synthetic vision. I think I will actually manage without Bravo clearance. I'll try avoiding it, the Bravo that is, and he will clear me through if he wants to or feels that I need it. I don't.
5 Victor, turn left, direct Black Force.
So let's see here.
Left direct.
CTAF at Chandler is 126.1. Let's get that squared away. 126.1. Might get a frequency change before that time, but if not, then it's set. I would normally actually, my plan was to be a bit further to the left here. This black area here is where this nesting or breeding, bald eagle breeding areas are. So I could probably say that I'm being a good guy and staying away from that so that they can breed in peace and quiet. If you're planning on breeding, you don't want to be disturbed by turboprop aircraft coming through. Or maybe you do. I don't judge. People are different. Okay, coming up on the pier. Unsure if that's going to be visible in the night. It looks like it's going to be inside this dark area here. So it's a good visual waypoint when it's light out. I think that's Chandler over there, actually. Now, what is this?
Southwest 1979, connect Salt Lake Center 128.72.
What is this? I think that's racetrack or whatever it is.
Kilo Papa, connect Phoenix approach 119.2.
119.2 TBM Trickle Papa. 119.2. Phoenix approach, TBM 133 Kilo Papa, level 3700.
133 Kilo Papa, Phoenix approach, Phoenix altimeter 291.
901 Kilo Papa.
Southwest 1979, Salt Lake Center.
Okay, so that's actually a clever thing. It looks like that road there is coinciding with the edge of the Bravo, with the surface Bravo. So that's a very useful visual reference, because I can see the wall of the surface Bravo. Well, not as a surface Bravo even, it's the 3,000 feet shelf. If it is that. In any case, it's a good place for me to turn, and I have it on the map here anyway. I can see the border of the shelf. Actually, I don't think that. I think that border is closer to me than that road is. But it's kind of drawing up the edge of the wall. So if I were to continue half a mile that way now, I would be busting the next to outer shelf there. I'm below a 6,000 feet shelf now, and I'm going to go into a 5,000 feet shelf. That's going to be fine. I don't think the controllers really care about those margins. They just, as far as I've understood, ATC doesn't see airspace in the same way that we do. They have usually a larger area than we are depicted as having. So that airport that I wanted to look at on the approach to Chandler, this old Gila River Memorial, I probably can forget about that one because it's going to be too dark anyway. But I'm going to be flying past it anyway, and I will have a look at it when I depart. That synthetic vision is really handy. Although I can see the terrain here, I just don't know how close it is. And also, of course, the map here. So, technology doing its job here, keeping me safe. Or at least keeping me from being more unsafe than I am. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at the approach. QNH, or altimeter rather, sets minimums not factor. Okay, frequency again, because I lost that now. 126.1. Again, 126.1 set. Precipitation fine. No factor. Fuel gauges even, more or less. DIs, no factor. Inertial separator is on. Landing lights are still on. So landing gear and flaps is all I need for so approach checklist is complete. So the landing checklist is one remaining. Landing gear and flaps. just verify the weather at Chandler as of 60 minutes ago, because it's the same as I had previously, so it's probably on the old side, that weather, but the wind is, according to that one, from the 290, so from the northwest. That doesn't rhyme with what I see here. I see wind from the south. Regardless, I'm going to go to runway 22, which I'm going to set into the OBS, so I have that ready to go. 22 is set. Okay, so that would be Chandler, I think this one. It's a bit of a mess of lights here. And I can very easily mistake it for the one behind it, which is Phoenix Mesa Gateway. So I'm going to be have to be very careful about that, so I don't land on the wrong runway, or wrong airport rather. There's a beacon there. That could be the Stellar Air Park. I think that's it, because that one is lined up that way. This one is more probable for me. Also, Chandler is smaller than the bigger gateway behind there. That's even got 3 runways. So yeah, I think I have the inside. So let's go for it. Also, this road that comes up here and turns to the intersection there, and kind of intersects with the bigger one, the Highway 10 there, should be visible in front of me here. Is it this? So where's the one coming up to it? Is that it?
Departure 1025 Victor, crossing Black Forest.
Now it's difficult to see.
5 Victor, roger. After Black Forest, resume on navigation.
Resume on navigation, 25 Victor.
Ugh. TBM 3 Kilo Papa has Chandler Airport in sight.
3 Kilo Papa, roger. And I have no traffic observed between you and the field. Radar service is terminated. Squawk VFR change to advisory frequency.
Squawk and Talk VFR, TBM 3 Kilo Papa, see ya. Alright.
Walker 1574, contact Albuquerque Center
VFR set
134.6.
and over to CTAF. Chandler traffic, TBM 133 Kilo Papa is at 4000 over Firebird Lake. We'll enter a right downwind, runway 22 right, full stop. Chandler. Okay, so altitudes are 5,000 and 4,000 for the shelf around the airport. So I'm gonna pull back on power a little bit. So the left here should be that smaller airfield. Yeah, that's the one. This is so gorgeous. So I'm gonna do the right thing and take that away so you can have a look at the gorgeous thing instead of look at my map. That down there, over my just to the front of my left wing there, that's the Stellar Air Park. And right beneath me is that old airfield that I was looking for. Completely invisible, so I'm gonna just forget about that. And I'm dropping in on the right downwind at Chandler. I'm gonna slow down quite a bit here and keep a tight pattern to stay very much within the airspace and to avoid busting the gateway delta just over the road up there. So speed is checked, gear down. I can check approach flaps while I'm at it. 3 greens. And approach flaps is set. What the hell is that? Chandler traffic, TBM, Trickle Papa, right, downwind runway 22, right. Full stop, Chandler. Okay, I'm gonna wait with full flaps until I'm on final. So once I roll out on final, I will take that. That's gonna complete the checklist, landing checklist. So, he didn't see any traffic on his display. Well, there's traffic up there. There's actually a bunch of traffic on the, but they are on their way into to the Sky Harbor, I think. But I'm gonna have to keep an eye out here because this is a moderately big airport. Could be traffic here as well. Tower is closed, so they may or may not say anything on CTAF. I didn't see an airplane out here now, but yeah, I see an airplane on the way in there. See if I can find my zoom. Yeah, somebody's on their way in. Let's keep a little bit of a distance then. Any more? Nope. Yeah, the wind has shifted to what I expected it to be. Chandler traffic, TBM, Trickle Papa, turning right base, runway 22 right. Chandler. Okay, just be mindful of the speed here, so I don't stall spin into the ground. Is he landing on the right side? Looks like he's landing on the left side. Chandler traffic, TBM, Trickle Papa turning final, runway 22 right, full stop, Chandler. Okay, full flaps. Where is he? Is he on the right side there? Kinda looks like it. I see some lights there.
500.
Slow down as much as I can without stalling here. Chandler traffic, TBM, Trickle Papa, short final, 22 right, full stop, Chandler. Is he turning off? Come on, get out of there. Yep, he's turning. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Fantastic. And the gear is down. Yeah. Come on, settle down. Return the favor of turning off as early as I can. Let's cross the line here. Turn off the strobes. Channel traffic, TBM, 3 Kill Papa is clear of 22 right, on the right. Chandler. And taxi lights. Okay, that was good. Flaps confirmed. Up. The reason I say that is because I don't want to pull my flaps up while I'm on the ground. No, the gear rather. Okay, so let's see, where are we now? We are at runway clear. Checklist. That's fine. set that aside. We are going to where am I going to park? I didn't quite look at that. Where is that end loop? North loop? Is that an FBO? Let's see here. Chandler Air Service has Jet A. So in case I want that, I can take that. So I'm going to take Alpha to Mike and then turn left. So zooming in here. Nobody's there. Good. And nobody's here. That was exciting. It's been a while since I actually had to contend with people landing in front of me like that. Outside of course, some of those group flights I've had. Okay, Kilo checks out. The next one is Lima, and the next one after that is Mike, which is the one I'm gonna take. So tower should be on my 10 o'clock now. There it is. Yeah, so it looks like that lit ramp over there is where I'm going. It's going to be the Chandler Air Service. Mike coming up. So that's going to be my left turn. Give way to the fuel truck? No, that's going to give way to me. Go away. All kinds of planes parked around here. Hey, what the hell is this? You stupid BMW driver. Okay, so this is Chandler Air Service. So where do I actually stop the plane? I cannot go into that mess, it's too tight. Might as well just make a U-turn around here. Avoid scraping up those palms and... Come on, come on. Oh, that plane just disappeared. Maybe that's a sign that I should go there. I will, but I will turn the plane around. Since this spot here was so inviting. Maybe those planes just despawn when I get close, just so that I can park there. I haven't seen that happen before, but you never know. Come on. That parking spot there has my name on it. I'm gonna wear out my brakes getting there, but there you go. Alright. So, let's get cabin lights on. It is actually on. So let's take it up a notch. There we go. Parking brake set. Now it's angry, so Welcome to Chandler. And now I can do the shutdown check here. So before I do anything drastic, I can do the things I know from memory. Pitot, heat, and strobe lights is already off. And AP trims can come off. And yes, that's fine. Okay. Lights, fuel selector, manual, AP trims off, AC and bleed off. So that's why I'm checklist. I forgot about those. Done. And throttle is at flight idle and will be for 2 minutes. So it's going to be at least 1 more minute. And then I'm going to go to low idle for a 1/4 minute and then shut down. After which I will turn the generator off and no, I'll take the inertial separator off and then the boost pump off. Then the generator can come off. Oh yeah. Okay, so successful flight. I will say so myself. Very happy about that. That was much fun. Much fun. Reset trim for takeoff. Okay, let's go flight idle. Oh, rather low idle. So now it looked like the prop turned the other way. That's just a simulation of you know, shutter speed camera thing. All right, now. Okay, so turn that off. And you should be able to hear the whee of the fuel pump. There it goes. Whee. Okay. Separator. And off it goes. Ignition off. Starter is off. Generator can come off. Nav lights can come off. Come on. Taxi light off. Cabin light. Use the access light. Panel light. And that was the sound of the inertial separator opening up. So we can take the battery off. And the crash lever. Now I'm gonna take this and manually shut it down. Thus. And also the oxygen can come off. And that's it, I think. I think I got it all. Can actually set the... No, that was the wrong one. There it is. Okay, so fuel is set to off. Let's see if I can be able to see anything outside here. It's a bit of a difficult thing with this plane because yeah, it's so dark that it kind of steals all the light. It's kind of like a, you know, a black body deal. It's so difficult to see anything. Okay, come on. Closed. Now, so here's the deal. With what we now know, yeah, the engine is really hot. Right, so I cannot put these covers on the exhaust and all that on. Those will have to be put on later. So I can take the chocks and the pitot cover, if I'm able to find a click spot for that. They are very small, these click spots. And the cover for the static wick and static port. And what else? That chock is also set. Yeah, there's one more static port over here. And this wick, and there's one more pitot cover to be put on. That one. That should conclude it. And the one thing I could do with these covers here for the engine is to there's a click spot for it, but I don't know where it is. I can just put it here, and it says will set when engine has cooled off. So that's the extent to which this plane is detailed. So that will happen automatically when the when it has cooled down. So, anyone who's still around, thanks for flying with me. I hope you enjoyed the flight from, what was the first airfield called? I forgot already. It's got such a forgettable name. Marana Regional. To Buckeye, to Chandler. So that was the first 2 legs of the Arizona ABC challenge on PilotEdge. Can of course be flown without PilotEdge, but it's being logged inside the PilotEdge system. So with that, I will shut down and go sleep. Thanks for flying with me, and good night and good luck.